better opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Biz Now, because your business matters.
Okay, so I am really excited. My last show for today, for this month, and it's really been a really great month. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And I am saving the best for last. Have you ever been asked a question that should be simple, but instead makes you pause? Maybe makes your heart beat a little faster, not because you don't have an answer, but because you're not sure if you should answer it, if you're allowed to answer it, if you even want to answer it. What's your dream? Not the practical one, not the responsible one, not the one that really fits into your calendar neatly and fits nicely into your current life, but the real one, the one that you used to think about before life got busy, the one that you used to think about before your responsibilities took over, before you started telling yourself things like, that's not realistic, or I have kids, or I need to run my business, or I need to take care of my parents, maybe someday. Because here's what I've come to believe. A lot of people don't lose their dreams. They just quietly set them aside. And over time, they stop asking the question altogether. Until this guy comes along and starts asking people all over town, everywhere he travels. It doesn't matter if it's a grocery store, a restaurant, a dog walk, on an airplane. There's not a single person that is better to have this conversation with than my incredible husband, the founder of Ascension Pathway Mastery, Richard Lloyd-Roberts, a dream seeker himself, but an even bigger champion of other people's dreams. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Why? What's your dream? Where did that come from?
So, as you know, we joined Tony Robbins and Dean Grazioni last year to do the mastermind group, and I wanted to teach something. And our business had been based on what's your purpose. So we were following our purpose of serving other people. And so I thought, when teaching people, maybe I could start with what's your purpose. And so I started asking people, what's your purpose? And I got deer in headlights. I mean, scared, and not just scared, but also like confusion. But I think purpose has such a deep and profound meaning to people that they don't think about it. It's too much. So they stopped, they wouldn't answer me. And then I came across a guy in England, or from England, should I say, called Simon Squibb, who has a book called What's Your Dream? And I read the book and I thought, well, how does this work? So I started asking people, what's your dream? And immediately the conversation was different. People light up. If you can get in there and you can get them to open up a little bit, which is not hard when you say this, they brighten up. So that's what I started doing, asking people, what's your dream?
Why do you feel that so many adults struggle to answer the question? Because I've seen the look on some people's faces. Some people light up and they're really excited and they go right to it. And then other people struggle. Why do you think that is?
Fear, essentially. Fear, or having been stopped by other people, tried and failed. But fear of failure, I think, is most of it.
That is, fear is a big doorstop for a lot of things in life.
It's most everything, yeah. I think if you're going to look at the number one stop for everybody, it's some kind of fear.
So do you think that people lose their dreams at all, or do they just lose touch with them?
I think they lose touch with them. I think they still kind of look expectantly to the future. But when you talk to even entrepreneurs, they have a dream and they kind of like struggle with making it work. It's too hard, or they're too scared, or somebody else has stopped them, or just life gets in the way, so they don't feel it's possible.
So, when you are asking somebody what's your dream, what is the advice that you give someone who says, "God, I don't know. I don't know what my dream is."
So I don't give advice, I question. So the good way to do this is, do you have a dream? What's your dream? And if they hesitate, yeah, what was that? What was that you were looking at there that you shied away from? And with a little bit of prompting and a little bit of asking, even if they don't feel it's possible, they'll tell you what their dream is. And then once you get them going, they get on a roll.
Do you find that dreams are still revivable whether you're 20 or whether you're 50, 60, 70?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, look at us. We didn't start again, and I was in 55 when we restarted. So yeah, it's definitely possible for anybody to do it, especially when you're younger, because you have a whole life ahead of you. But yeah, I think anywhere, anytime you can start and fulfill at least one dream if left in your life.
I think that when you're younger, you have a lot more energy. And when you're older, maybe you have a bit more money to compensate for the energy that you don't quite have. So
Yeah.
I do think about that in terms of like what dreams, when people think about, gosh, I feel too late in life. Do you ever think it's too late in life?
No, it's not too late. I think it's the accumulation of maybe past failures or disappointments, or just it's really more of a mindset than anything else. It's never too late. I mean, you could do something in 5 years.
I mean, you could do something next week, really.
Exactly.
Really, that's really all that a dream is you have a great big dream, and then you just need to take one tiny little step towards.
And that's the hard part. People don't take steps. They look at it and go, yeah, I don't know, maybe next month.
So people are making a lot of excuses and telling themselves a lot of stories, but you still feel it's all backed in fear.
Yeah, I do. Definitely backed in fear.
So no matter what story they're telling themselves, doesn't matter. It's backed in fear.
I think so.
All right. So when we come back, we are going to dive into where do dreams go and how can you find your dreams? How can you reclaim their dreams? So for our radio listening audience, be thinking about that. Be thinking about what's your dream and what story have you been telling yourself? And if you're live on Facebook, we've got some continued great questions for you. So get ready to comment about what's your dream and where did it go? Facebook Live, we are still here while radio goes to commercial. So drop us a star or a star emoji or a sparkle emoji if you ever had a dream that you put on the shelf. And you know what excuse or what story have you been telling yourself, like why you never made that dream happen? So, Richard, let's share with our Facebook listeners one dream someone shared with you, and why they stopped going after it.
It's a good one. I like this one's probably one of my favorite ones. I was in Birkdale Village and I was talking to one of the security guards there. And we got into a whole conversation and I said, what's your dream? And he said, well, I always wanted to have a broadcast company. So I said, well, why aren't you doing it? And he said, well, I'm getting a job now. I'm going to be an insurance agent. I went, well, that's not a dream, is it? So we got talking and it turns out that this guy was the videographer for Cam Newton. And he would follow Cam Newton around and he would take photographs of him and video him. So he had all the right connections. And he just stopped. He was going to get a proper job and that was going to be his way of making money. So we kept talking. I met him a couple of times as he was security guard at the time, and I think it was a little bit of inspiration for him to start picking up again. So he actually started making moves to doing that.
And I do remember this story. He checked back in with you.
He did, yeah.
And what did he do?
Well, I had told him to write it up. I said, make it into a big, long, write-up about how this could be. And he did it. He came back and he'd done it. So that was really nice.
So great example.
That was an action point, right?
That was an action point.
Yeah.
So what a great, such a great way to get started if you're sitting there thinking like, your dream might seem big and hairy and BHAG, big, hairy arse goals.
There you go. So here's an exercise that you can do, Facebook guys. So take a piece of paper and a pen, and at the top of the piece of paper, write, "This is my dream." And then start writing. And the one that makes you cry is the one.
Oh, that's good. That's really, really good. I think when we go live, we're going to have you start out with that because that is priceless. Absolutely. We need to hear that again. Priceless. And that gives everyone on Facebook a moment to reflect on that. Grab some paper, grab a pen. Well, after the show. All right. We are going to come back onto the radio here in just a minute.
WSIC. Local starts here.
All right. We are back.
And welcome back. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is where your business matters. If you've just joined us, you picked the right moment. We have one of the most impressive people I know hosting this month, Colleen Lloyd-Roberts. She doesn't just talk about dreams. She reverse engineers them into real business, real clients, and real impact. Colleen is a multi-business founder, an award-winning speaker, and a Think and Grow Rich coach who has helped people all over the country turn one small idea into a life they can live and be proud of. So sit back, turn up the volume, and get ready for one-on-one with Colleen Lloyd-Roberts. Colleen, the show's all yours. Take it from here.
Joe, thank you so much for that really great introduction that I'm sure ChatGPT wrote for you. That was an awfully nice, kind introduction. So thank you for that. Okay, listen, while we were on commercial break, Richard said just such a great, profound statement. And I said, you got to say that again for all of the radio listeners. So what did you tell everyone on Facebook to do?
So this is a take on an exercise that I learned from a guy called Steve Pavlina, who's out of Las Vegas. And he used to have this thing called the 20-minute purpose exercise. So I have turned it into the 20-minute dream exercise. So you take a piece of paper and a pen, and you write at the top of the piece of paper, "This is my life's dream." And then you write everything that comes into your head until you get to the one that makes you emotional or makes you cry. That's your real dream. Go for that one.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, Richard, what happens to people when they disconnect from their dreams?
They get absorbed by the matrix, don't they? I think lack of dreams or lack of purpose is, it's the drudgery of everyday life. It's something you hold in your head maybe, or it disappears into the back of the head, but it's now just becomes the grind.
So is that why you feel like so many people feel stuck or restless or unfulfilled?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you're not pursuing something you love or pursuing something after something you really want, yeah, it's a grind.
Do you think people actually think it's too late, or do you think they've just really convinced the heck out of themselves that it's just too late?
That's pretty much the same thing, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't think it's everybody. I think there's lots of reasons that come up, like I don't have the knowledge, or I've got too much to do now. There's as many excuses as there are people, I think. So, it's the first thing to do is set and define what it is you want, And then instead of worrying about what's stopping you, take an action step. What's one thing that you can do today that moves you forward? And then do that every day. Do something new every day to achieve your dream, something that makes you closer to that dream.
And when people take this action step, what do you see that happens after they take that first step?
Well, if it's successful, then they're going to be encouraged. The opposite of that, if it isn't successful, they'll be discouraged. So the thing you do there is you find a way around that. You find part of problem solving is finding out the stops and barriers and overcoming them, which brings you closer to happiness.
Oh, that's so brilliant. I love that. I love that. Like overcoming stops and barriers actually brings you closer to happiness.
Yep.
That's a beautiful statement. I love that. So, as people are writing out their dreams and really, finding that one that makes them the most emotional, and you go, bam, that's it. And then as people are taking the next steps of writing out like a whole entire list of them, these are the things that I need to do to make my dream happen. So they're writing out their list. Like that can be really overwhelming when you see like this big long list. That could be really overwhelming. So what is your advice? Like how do you guide people through that process?
So you take it in sections. So you can break it down into one large plan that breaks down into smaller sections of the plan, which breaks down into little component parts of the plan, and then practical steps to achieve one step closer to everything you do.
So baby steps.
Baby steps.
Literally
Yeah.
baby steps.
Well, here's a good example. Like, do you remember when I wanted a Jaguar?
Yes.
Okay, what was my first steps? I looked at them every single day. So it cemented it in my brain. That was something I really, really wanted. And I would envision it. So it's sort of like manifestation. Ask and you shall receive. So you just keep thinking that you already own it. Take that step of, I already have a Jag. And then envision yourself driving it, and envision yourself going out into the country and up into the mountains and going down the Blue Ridge Parkway with the roof down or the windows down. Just keep imagining that you have got that dream, and then take practical steps every day. It could be as much as saving $1 a day.
Oh, that's brilliant. Because, baby steps really truly lead to the great big things that get done.
Yeah.
And I think people forget that. They just think they have to eat the whole elephant at one time, or eat the elephant in 5 bites when the elephant might be 1,000 tiny little bites.
Yeah, I know it depends on the size of the dream. I mean, if you want to take over the world, then, that might be a little bit impractical if you've got 3 days to do it. Give yourself a bit more time on that one. But, going out and doing something simple every day is going to get you just that little bit closer.
Beautiful. That is really beautiful. So, so let's just recap. Most people don't lose their dreams. They just stop giving themselves permission to pursue them. Let's talk about that for a minute. So we've got some practicality here. Write out what your dream is. Write a list. Find the one that you're most emotional about, and bam, that's it. And then write out your action steps to make that happen. And then start taking the easiest action first and breaking that down into baby steps. But let's talk about giving yourself permission, because in all the busy lives, whether it's kids or taking care of your parents or running a business, let's talk about that. Giving yourself permission to pursue your dream.
Yeah, I mean, it's look at your day and look at where you're spending your time, and how much of it's stuck in front of a television or scrolling social media. That's kind of pointless. So even, I don't know about permission necessarily. I mean, if you're serving everybody else all the time and you're not giving yourself gratitude to yourself to get this dream, then that's kind of pointless too. So I don't know about permission, but I would just take action steps. That's me. I'm just an action step person.
You are. He is a very big action step person. Like action.
Stop thinking, start doing.
Yes, 1,000%. That is totally you. But that's why you have achieved a lot in life and done a lot of things. Like when you look back over your life and you go, man, You've done a lot of stuff. You've been every freaking place in the world. Like, point to a place on the globe that you haven't been. I don't even know.
That one.
I don't even think there's a place on the planet you haven't been to. Have you ever been to Madagascar? Oh, that might be a place.
No, but I didn't see the movie.
So you are definitely all about action.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that you and I see a lot of is we do see a lot of people. So okay, they got the idea, they've got the big dream, and they are talking about it. But talking about it and really deeply envisioning it and feeling it are two different things.
Yeah, I was thinking as you were talking there, I've got an example of somebody that I met recently that's pursuing her dream. And, in talking, there's lots of things that keep coming up that she's using as an excuse to not move forward. Like, I can't, my brain doesn't think that way, or I don't know how. Well, so change your thought process and learn. I mean, that's the simplicity of it.
So now we're getting into a whole nother topic. That's not even on my notes, but it should be, because it's all about your thought processes.
Yeah.
It's all about the thought processes about what we think.
When you're the master of this, the positive mental attitude.
Thank you for that. Yes, Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is not actually just the title of the book. It is the secret. It's actually the secret.
Yep.
Think and Grow Rich. So you have to really think it.
Yeah, and believe it.
And believe it. What do you say to someone who has a hard time believing?
Why? Why do you think that way? You can take them back. You can run a person back and have them give you earlier and earlier and earlier times when somebody had said you shouldn't think this way, or this happened, or that happened. And there's normally an early occasion in somebody's life where they were stopped by somebody.
And that's the answer right there.
Mm-hmm. And when they realize where the stop is, and it was programmed into them by somebody else. So as an example, let's say you wanted to be an artist, and somebody said to you, well, you should never copy anything. There's your art career gone.
So, I really had, we are going deep. That's how Richard rolls. That is life with my husband, life with Richard, is you go down one path and he's like, no, we're going to go deep here. That is the story of his life, is going deep. And, that's really where life happens. Mm-hmm. It doesn't just happen on the surface. It happens when you really go deep. We're going to talk some more about that when we get back. We're going to talk about reconnecting with the dream you put on the shelf or stuffed under the mattress. And we're going to go deep. We're going to really help you guys dust off that dream and let's make it happen. Okay, we had a little timing issue on that one, but I think you covered it for me, right? You got that? Yeah, okay. All right, so funny thing about radio. Dead space is not a good thing, but that's why we have these really awesome producers that sit behind there and play the music for you when you realize you've got 10 seconds more of some airtime. Okay, so we've got some great comments. I want to give some shout outs. I know we've got some really great people listening. A shout out to Steve Clement and Ellen Didion listening, and Abe Sanchez down there in California, and Julie Wozniak and Robin Norris. I know you guys are listening. I think Jen Hess is listening, and Kathy Wood, and I think Janet Hostler is listening, and Courtney and Holly are listening in. So we've got some I just want to give a shout out to these amazing, amazing people.
And half our client list.
And half our client list is listening. Kelly from Divine Consign is listening. That's a plug. I don't know if that's okay to do, but oops, just did it. All right. So while we're here, in this Facebook time. How many minutes? Let's see. Do we start back up at, oh, we've got like 3 minutes. Okay. We have 3 minutes. So Facebook, let's play a little game. Everyone who's commenting, Robin's listening, Robin Norris. So let's play a little game. And if money, fear, and time were not issues, what would you love to do? Drop one word in the comments. What would you love to do? Would you want to write a book, learn to sail, open a new business, travel somewhere specifically, start something new, a new hobby, learn something new? So Richard, what is the most common reason that people delay their dreams? That people tell you?
Time. Don't have the time. I'm too busy doing other things, so I don't have the time.
And what do you have to say back to them?
Examine your days. Like we said earlier on, it's like, what are you doing that's non-productive or not getting you towards your dream, and change it. If you're sitting at home every night watching television, then that's, it's just a massive waste of time. You could be doing something for your dream every single night. If I wanted to be a musician and sit and practice, do some planning, use ChatGPT.
So you actually just did a reboot. You just did 3 days.
Yes.
You did this really cool reboot. So we just have a little, about 30 seconds, right? Do we have 30 seconds left? What do we got? 45 seconds. So you turned off the TV, turned off your phone for 24 hours?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was that like?
Hell. So for the first part of the morning, you're sort of just sitting there looking and thinking, and I did some gardening. Second half of the day, you start to realize how much you depend on sources of amusement. But it takes up so much of your mind, and it takes up so much of your thinking so yeah.
That's really awesome, and all of us should really do that.
Yeah.
Every single person should do that. I don't know what a few seconds means, Kayla.
And welcome back. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is where your business matters. If you just tuned in, and you are in for a treat, because all month long we are being hosted by one of the most impressive people I know, Colleen Lloyd-Roberts. Doesn't just talk about dreams. She reverse engineers them into real business, real clients, and real impact. Please continue to enjoy and experience the skill of Colleen Lloyd-Roberts. Colleen, the show's all yours. Take it from here.
All right, so I am here with, I saved the best for last this show. I'm here with my husband, my best friend, my biggest dream supporter. So, Richard, if someone says, I don't even know what my dream is anymore, where do they begin?
Go back and recall when you had a dream. Just look back into your life about the things that you wanted to do that you never did.
And is it about finding the dream or remembering the dream?
Yes. Maybe your dreams have changed. Maybe you should use your imagination and find something else that you want to do now. Because life changes. I mean, we grow up, we have different priorities. I mean, your dream might be for your kids. It could be for your grandparents. It could be for your parents. It could be for anybody. It could be for your pets. But yeah, you can use your imagination and just come up with something that you really love. Maybe you always wanted to be the piano player, so start playing piano. It's easy. I mean, it's easy if you don't put yourself in your own way. But to find some time and do one step. Ding. That's me playing the piano, by the way.
Because, I mean, realistically, now that we have Amazon, you can literally buy anything that you could possibly need from the beginning. You could buy journal. If you don't have any paper in your house, you could buy paper from Amazon and it'll be to your home in a couple hours so you can write out your dream like Richard was first saying. And you can literally learn so much on YouTube and ChatGPT and buy anything you need off of Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if you could buy a sailboat off of Amazon.
Probably.
I never looked that up. I have to look that one up. Well, I know you could buy a small one to tool around the bathtub, but
So here's a thought. So in Simon Squibb's book, What's Your Dream? He starts off with people. He actually stops people on the street in London, and that was his original thing. He actually the original thing was he had a doorway. He bought a hallway in London, and he had a door on the front of it, and people would post their dreams into the mailbox, and then he would read them over the air. So so his second part of the book was, so what your dream is the first thing, and then the second part of the book is why. And that's your purpose for doing it. So the why is the purpose for doing it. So most people come back to, it's going to make me happy. It's pretty much what everything comes down to in life, actually, is if you look and dig deep enough, why do you want that? Why do you want that? Why do you want the fast car? Why do you want the yacht? Because it makes me happy. So do things that make you happy. Be happy first.
that is just really, really great advice because, you know, I have this question here. You've championed so many people, including me. And what do people need most when they're trying to step into something new? And I feel like they need to find out what makes them happy.
Yeah. And they should, this is a thing I've read in lots of philosophy books. If you want true happiness, then be happy. Stop looking for it somewhere else, which could be a bit counterintuitive to be having a dream, but the dream could just be to be happy, then be happy and make that happen in your life.
I feel like sometimes people feel guilty to be happy, or they, you know, there's so much negativity happening in the world, and so they feel like or they feel like they don't deserve to be happy. I've heard that. Have you ever heard anyone say, I don't deserve to be happy"?
Not in my crowd.
Not in your crowd, but I just want to say that we all deserve to be happy, and we all have a right to be happy. And every single person, as they're born into this world, comes into the world with an envelope. It's an invisible envelope, but you come into this world with an envelope. And one of the things, when you open up the envelope, you are born with the innate right to be happy. And what we end up doing so many things in life that don't make us happy because we feel like
Because we assign it to something else.
we assign it to something else.
So look at a dog. Okay, you come home from work and the dog's happy to see you, and it comes up and it wags its tail and it's happy and it jumps up. The dog's always happy. It always loves you and is always happy. People want other people to make them happy instead of being happy first. So the dream is going to make me happy. Well, the shortcut is just to be happy.
That's great. That is really, really great advice. So really work on that happiness and gosh, okay, you're the guest here, so I'm not going to dovetail into into my territory of
Why not? We're a partnership.
what I do, but you know, there is a lot of negativity in the world, and so when you find it difficult to just feel that happiness, you know, one of the things that I've done for many, many years is trained my brain to think positively. And I've done that by literally anytime a negative thought comes into my head, I immediately stop thinking that thought and I turn it around and I think the opposite to make it negative. And I do that even when I'm out amongst people, because when you stop to listen, which is something you did for a whole week as part of an exercise that you were doing, you stop to listen. When you stop to listen, there's so much negativity out there. I think people don't even know that they're saying all the negative and focused on the negative.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, I agree.
So stopping, and when you hear negative comments, and just retraining your brain to be like, I'm going to just think the opposite of that and think positive and that will start, at first it's a bit annoying because you're doing it all the time, but then you are actually retraining your brain to become more positive, and then the happiness kind of starts to flow, and the happiness kind of starts to envelope your whole entire life, and that starts to develop into your dreams. Okay, Richard, this is radio. You can't just nod.
I thought we were doing Facebook Lives.
We are live on Facebook. We're also on the radio. So
This is for the Facebook audience.
So we've got about 3 minutes left before we take another commercial break. So let's talk about courage and timing, and why now is the perfect time to begin on making your dream happen. What do you have to say about that? Kick us off.
Well, let's say, if you ask your question, what's my dream, and you come up with something, then if you don't do it now and you'd start in 6 months, you've lost 6 months worth of time. I'm going to give you an example of this. And this was said to me, 1982, I was in Sweden. And I said to somebody I wanted to play the saxophone. And she said, well, when are you going to start? I said, well, probably next year. She said, well, if you'd have started now, you'd have had a year's worth of practice. You might actually be good already. So it's now is always the right time, even if it's a small step. Just take one thing and just do it. And that takes courage, and it does take a bit of confront, which I think people, they might need to overcome some things, but one small step at a time, and you'll start to build confidence. And if you're really lacking confidence, then take those small steps, break them down even further, but do something.
Do something, because the confidence will come when you take the small steps and you start doing one little thing, one little thing, one little thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I also feel like we've seen this before in our business and working with entrepreneurs. That's what we do. And they will stop, like they hit a hurdle and then they just stop.
Yep.
So let's address that.
Don't stop. I've got a friend of mine that I was in a networking group with. I looked up her podcast today, and I remember when we were talking about it before she'd even started this podcast. It's a YouTube channel, and she was so terrified of starting. And she did one, and it was not great, but it was up. I looked on her channel today. I think she's done 3,000 videos since that point.
Oh, wow.
And she's getting good viewers now. And there's just confidence and doing. And so, so what if it's bad the first time? Nobody's watching it. So, make it better the next time and keep building it.
That's so true. Just start. Just start, and start messy, but just start. Because a messy start is still a start.
Yep.
And it'll get better and better and better.
Exactly.
Kind of like riding a bike. Like there would be no bike riders in the world. Mr. Schwinn would not have died a multi-millionaire, billionaire if we all didn't keep trying to ride a bike. Yeah, think about that when you're riding a bike or you see all the bikers. Mr. Schwinn, because we all just kept riding the bike when we fell off the first time. We tried and tried and tried again. Okay. Are we off the air? What's going on? We're on Facebook. Okay, so
my crowd.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So we have been so spot on this whole entire month, and I don't know what's going. This is our last show, and yeah. So it doesn't matter though. Here we are. It's just messy. It doesn't matter because we're still doing it. So some days are just like that, but you just still keep doing it. That's how it is. That's very sweet of you to say. Okay, so Facebook audience, what is one step you can take toward your dream right now Drop it in the chat, drop it in the comments. What is one step? And you know what? I really want to see some dreams on here. I want to see. Oh, Joe is listening. Joe is actually listening.
What's your dream, Joe?
What's your what is your dream, Joe?
Do you have a dream?
Oh, Misty, I have a few beach houses. Enjoy the beaches. That's great. Julie, happiness is a choice. Absolutely, Julie. Happiness is 100% a choice, right? I mean, no matter what in life, you can choose your emotion. So I absolutely love that you said that. Super, super love that. Okay, so Facebook is commenting right now, and we're going to be live. When we go live on the radio, we're going to actually talk about what does courage look like in real life, and why do people wait for the perfect time, and is it ever too late? And what do you say directly to someone listening who's feels called to more? So if you're listening on Facebook, like, do you ever feel like there's more to life? Do you ever find yourself asking, like, gosh, it's like sometimes we actually have that conversation, like, oh, there's just got to be more to life.
Yep.
Great, thank you. So, like, we're going to talk about that when we come back. We're almost back. I know Facebook is like, no, you're here. We didn't go anywhere, but we got to go back on this thing called the radio. So, okay, so we have 30 seconds to air, and then we'll be back on the radio, and we're going to talk about that.
And we're back. She is a multi-business founder, an award-winning speaker, and a co-founder of the impressive digital marketing firm called Monkeys in Hats. So sit back, turn up the volume, and get ready for one and only Colleen Lloyd-Roberts. Colleen, the show's all yours. Take it from here.
Okay, we are back, and we had a fun Facebook time right there for everyone that's listening in Radio Land. We're still live on the air on Facebook, and during this next segment, we're going to wrap up a little bit here with what does courage really look like in real life, Richard?
The ability to confront something, so to look at it face on and not avoid it. So if you're looking around it, or if you're not really looking at the situation or the issue, then that's what courage is to actually confront something. So as an example, I can't do sales, so therefore I just won't try. Or you could confront it and do a sales course. You do the Sandler method, for example, and find out what people's problems are and solve them for them. That's courage. It's just the ability to confront something.
So simple. So simple. Why do people wait for the perfect time?
It's an excuse. It's their let's call it the parasite, shall we? Since we just read that book, it's their ego or their subconscious avoiding an issue. It's really just anything other than doing it is avoidance. So confront it and do it. And that sounds simplistic, and it's probably easier to say than it is to actually do. But like we've said all through the whole show here, if you can take a step and do something, that's a step. It's a step in the right direction.
And I mean, we've already addressed this. Is it ever too late?
No, it's never too late. It's very simple. But I mean, so we can go back to our business when we were like 50 something. Everything fell apart from our other business. So what did we do? You went door to door, knocking on doors, which was you confronting sales, and I learned how to code. And so we built the business from there. So that's confront. That's like going, we have to do something about it. Another part of this, and I've said this to many people, is how badly do you want it? If you don't want it that badly, you won't do it. So think about that in your dream. Is it something I really, really want? Or is it just a nice to have? Is this just a pastime or a hobby that isn't really a dream? It's just something I tell myself to make myself feel like I'm doing something, but really it's just an avoidance issue.
Which goes back.
Get deep.
Get deep. Yes, get deep. But that really goes back to what you talked about earlier in getting that piece of paper and writing everything down and finding that one thing that makes you really, really, really emotional.
Yeah, and that goes for purpose too. I mean, dreams and purpose are intertwined. So if you want to do something, find out why. What's driving you behind that too? There's always something deep in there that says, I'm doing this because I want to save the children, or I feel bad for dogs getting abandoned, or something along those lines. I mean, it's whatever is deep in your heart. It's your soul. It's your sole purpose.
I love that. And we talked a lot about happiness. Sometimes it's just about having a dream is just like, this just makes me sheer happy. Sheer happy. Because
Could be very happy.
Could be very happy because I'm learning to sail at 50 bleep years old, 40 bleep. Oh, I already
30 bleep.
30 bleep years old, and I'm not trying to save the children. I'm not trying to save the whales. I got on a sailboat. I've seen sailboats my whole life. I got on a sailboat. I got to sail for the first time really in a race a year ago, and it just made me happy. I was so happy doing it. I just loved it. Absolutely loved it. So sometimes like that just is the purpose of like, God, this just makes me happy.
Yeah. What makes me happy? Helping people find their dreams.
It does. You light up. You you are on freaking fire when you are talking about this topic with people.
It's because other people are. That's the thing, is if you can bring somebody to see that they might be able to do something, or they're actually doing the thing, then that's, for me, is the driving factor behind all of this, is making somebody else's life better.
We should have done a call-in show. Why did I think of Joe? I'm gonna have to do another show with Richard. It's gonna have to be a call-in show where people can call in and Richard can say and ask them what's your dream, and we can do a live call-in show.
That would be great.
Yeah. Richard's really, really excited to do that.
It wasn't my dream to be on a radio show.
Anyway, we should have made this a call-in show. But anyway, if you are on Facebook, I really, drop us a comment. What's your dream? Richard, say it like you normally say it in your great accent.
What's your dream? Do you have a dream?
So drop a comment in Facebook. Let us know, what's your dream? Do you have a dream? What is it? So,
and I'm going to plug somebody right now, because I think this has come from the guy from England, Simon Squibb, who has a book out called What's Your Dream? And it's a very, very, very good book. It's very worthwhile reading.
Can I plug your website?
If you like.
Okay. Richard created a company and a website called Ascension Pathway Mastery, and it is filled with some free. You get some free content. There's a little bit of paid content on it, but the paid stuff is...
No, it's all free.
It's all free?
I'll turn it into free content. Yeah, so you go to the community, you end up getting my What's Your Dream course, What's Your Purpose course, Manifestation Mindset. What's the other one I did? Millionaire Mindset.
It's fantastic. I really watched him, create this. And it was something he and I both learned in the Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, The Edge Mastermind that we participated in a year ago. And I watched Richard put this all together. It is fantastic. AscensionPathwayMastery.com. Richard, let me rephrase this. What has supporting other people's dreams taught you about life?
Oh, goodness, I didn't know that was coming. Anything's possible. Anything. So you just have to change your mindset as to, can I do it? Yes. That's really, for me, it's you can get anything you want. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, we have 2 more minutes on the show, honey.
You can get anything you want. It's all possible. Set for 2 minutes worth of content.
Oh my goodness.
Let's ask ChatGPT what it is.
So I have really seen how this has really touched you and the impact that you've made. I know that when we're at restaurants, we're at the club, and I love watching you ask people what's your dream and how people are responding to that, and like really I don't think anyone's ever been asked that. Like no one's asking the question. Well, except for Simon Squid, but no one else is asking the question.
No, it's really not. It's not a commonly asked thing, and I think this is the thing. Like people are so involved in the everyday, like go to work, like life. It's. They forget that there's dreams are possible. They forget that to ask themselves even, what's my dream? You get caught up in the rat race. And the rat race doesn't want you to be successful necessarily. It wants them to be successful. So you have to think of yourself. You have to come back and start thinking of your own goodwill and your own happiness. And then involve other people with it and make them happy too.
I love that. I love that. All right. So I just want to leave everyone with this, that the question we started with, what's your dream? It's not a childish question. It's not a selfish question. It's not a silly question. It's a sacred question. Because the pull that you feel towards something more, it means something. That voice inside you that keeps repeating, there's got to be more to life than this. If you've been pushing it down, postponing it, telling yourself it's too late, today is the day to stop doing that. Get that dream down from the shelf. Get it out from under the bed. Pull out that faded old vision board from the back of your closet that may or may not have been peed on by the cat. And quit playing life safe. Take a risk. Muster up the courage that you were born with, because we are all born. We are all born with courage and happiness, and it gets taken from us. We let other people, it doesn't get taken, we let other people take it from us. So take one brave step towards that dream today. And if anyone ever asks you what's your dream, you can look them in the eye a year from now, 6 months from now, and proudly say, I am living it. So ascensionpathwaymastery.com. Or you can just friend Richard Lloyd-Roberts on Facebook. Okay. Oh, I got a minute left. Gosh darn, I was so spot on that last week. I just ended it like, bang, I nailed it. We just got caught up. We got so caught up in all the dream talk. I truly love it. Richard, do you have a final mic drop boom statement that you want to leave everybody with?
No. This is the husband and wife dynamic. No, you've said it all. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Well, really, what's your dream? Everyone out there in Facebook land, everybody that's listening, what's your dream? And I really hope that today was a life-changing moment for you. So thank you all so much for joining us, whether it's on the radio or whether it's on Facebook. I really enjoyed being with you this whole entire month. Thank you so much.
Into our archives on the